All right, Andy. Commander's team total going to get there?
That
Oh, already
was
did.
that was such a fun first half. I mean, even if you were agnostic to betting this game, I mean, obviously, if you're a Lions fan, you didn't enjoy it. If you're a Commandos fan, you have to be ecstatic with the spot you're sitting in. Um, my God, what a fun half of football. We didn't quite get the full game total there. That would have been pretty funny for total betters.
Oh
Say
yeah.
they got that in the first. It's one thing to like, oh, this total was bet down all week, and there was some oopsie plays, and we covered. We got to 42 points in the first half. This is 55. That's a little different. 600 yards, guys.
We will get to Chiefs-Texans in overtime. Rest assured. I have many thoughts about that game.
That game was weird. I took -9, and
it's fun to bet. It's fun to bet over whatever they hung. What do you no, seriously. Like what is the angle into this one? 10-point lead for the Washington Commanders in this game. Unbelievable first half of football. We had a pick six. We had a pick that took 6 points off the board for the Lions. So effectively 14 points have flipped here, which is massive, and explains why the Commanders could be up 10 in this spot. They look amazing. The fact that they were being aggressive and deep shots when what would have best served them would have been to milk the clock. I love.
It's so fun. I'm falling in love with Dan Quinn. And I mean, obviously the story is the 3 turnovers in the first half, none for the Washington Commanders. Otherwise, the yardage is right there. It's 312 to 309. They both have 15. Lions have 16 first downs. The stats are pretty close, which in and of itself is pretty amazing because I think we all thought pretty highly of this offense, but it still wasn't, maybe in the highest of echelons, and they really are putting together some nice play calling today. I mean, the little mesh stuff that you're seeing with I almost called him Lamar because that one run run to the right where he just kind of gallops and he's doing the thing where he slows down, speeds up, finds the right lane, and then he zooms through.
It looked like 2019 Lamar. Yeah.
It was very Lamar-esque. And if that's the stuff they're going to run, I don't know if they're going to be super easy to stop. Washington does start with the ball in the second half. This is a comic total because we're
comically low.
It's 29.5 choosing the over. Like, this is a college football. I posted one of my favorite eras of college football was the MAC about I can remember when it was because I was going to like this pick. I remember checking the scores when I was waiting in this lobby, waiting to pick my kid up from preschool. So it had been when she was very young. And I remember these games that would go into the 70s.
What happened to Andy? He's gone. He must have closed the window out of excitement of telling that story. Damn it. I wanted to get to the end there.
It just kicked me out for no reason.
StreamYard. You're the snake. You're the dragon. Anyway.
You're the dragon. 29, 30.5 at some joints. It is getting bet up. The Lions 7-point favorites. Our friend at Profit X go make a request on any numbers, I guess.
I was playing this game with Bobby Pizza. Rams Chiefs was ahead or behind this score at halftime? Do you remember?
Behind.
They had 46.
I think it was a big second half.
It was a big second half. They had 46 at halftime, and they finished with 105. This is easily an over bet. They indexed it already at 30.5. That's correct. It's 114 at 30.5. Like, I don't know, man. Like,
what's the difference between 30.5 and like 35 here? I don't think we're seeing.
No, honestly, the bet is probably like Lions minus 20.5, right? At some absurd price, right? Like, there's a world where the Lions come out and they get to like 60, right?
I think you're right. If you want to bet the Commanders in the second half, if you feel like they're the side, I would almost
under,
split some of that stake on straight up money line. They win the second half.
Yes,
you can get 4-1 on that. But on the the inverse of that is, clock strikes midnight. Ben Johnson stays in his bag, and the fourth down luck goes away for Washington a little bit again. And the Lions not only win, but Lions cover the pregame line, and everyone is super sad. Although I do kind of worry about Goff's brains. I can't believe that wasn't a flag. He got rattled.
Was surprised. And yes, he got popped. 6 of the 7 touchdowns were in the second quarter. The game has opened up, if you will. What do you think, man? What should we do?
Guys, I love this from you on. Guys, I think you're forgetting that thing about their defense. You know that they suck ass. Both of these defense, on that end around reverse to Jameson Williams.
Yeah,
it's they probably have him corralled here. It's oh no.
Oh wait, no, they don't.
He's just gonna keep running. This is bad.
Yeah. What do you think, Ben? Linos or over? One or the other.
We can play over 30.5.
30.5?
How many chances are we going to get to play an over 30.5?
Probably 0.
Unless we start doing these for college games. It's not going to be a ton.
Yeah, it's 115. Okay.
I'm gonna shop around a little.
I'm in.
What does that total come to? So we're at 52.
102. So we need 103.
83.
We need 103.
83. We don't need 103. 83 points.
We need 83 points. Sorry. I don't know why my brain's not working. I do know why my brain's not working.
I was going to say, I'll book the other side of 103.
I was pretty sure. Over 30.
Look at next level math crest for Davis.
All the bets I've made in this game have already cashed, so I kind of been playing with house money for fun. I don't want a game that slows down and gets boring, so we were playing over 30.5. NFL on meth.
I wanted to bet in the first one, and I took -9. I looked at it and just couldn't get there with the Texans offense.
Yeah.
And the way that the refs call things. So I had those two handicaps right. It's crazy that
you didn't deserve it, but it should have got there.
I didn't deserve it. It should have got there in this, and I don't feel bad about the push. It was an entertaining game.
There was a lot of
Twitter open.
There was a lot of late support for the old Chief Yolas. They closed 10 some spots.
If you got 9.5, RIP. Sorry, I watched it on a tablet at a girls' wrestling tournament.
Awesome.
So it's funny too. You'd have people clearly wanted to watch the game. You look back and there's people in the bleachers looking over their shoulder.
I'm disappointed to hear that because I have lots of opinions about the nuances of that game.
There's plenty of
how'd the wrestling tournament go? That's what people really
good. No, but it's funny too because there's dads looking over the shoulder at the tablet, they're not happy to be there. They want to be watching the football. Buddy, I'm gonna charge. Tournament went great. It was a lot of fun. Always is. Volleyball tournament tomorrow. My weekend is just super fucked again. Thank God for just everything being on streaming now. Can you imagine this 15 years ago? I would have had to be listening to it on a radio with a headphone or something.
You
can just stream it on a tablet.
A garbage handheld.
Oh, remember the little TVs like that? Oh yeah.
Now it's a little TV.
No, just put the tablet on my lap, and of course I'm paying attention.
Of course.
Do you want to talk about the early game a little? I did miss.
Should we now, or do you want to wait for overtime? I have nothing more on this game. I'm a little, literally, I just want to keep another bump. Let's go. That's kind of the vibe
to win
here.
The game. Who would you rather see? The way the command, I thought it would be better to see the Lions win, but the way the Commanders are playing, a Commanders Eagles rematch. As much as I didn't like that, I kind of could buy it. I could buy that.
I would much rather see a Lions team where they're literally these motherfuckers scored 48 and couldn't beat us, right? I would much rather see that than see the Commanders be we just scored 48 on the Lions heading into Link. No. I'd much rather see the Lions find a way here, get to 50 points, win this game.
How many points do the Lions need to score, in your opinion, to win the second half, i.e., how many are they giving up? Because if they score 21, they can basically give up what, 7, 10?
They need 22 points to win this game, in my opinion.
It feels like they have to have a 24 to me.
24? Well,
Like
22, 23, 24, whatever. Yeah.
There could be a lot. Yeah,
three touchdowns. Three touchdowns isn't doing it.
It feels like 3 touchdowns. There's a spot where there's a 2-point conversion to tie this game late, and that's it.
Yes.
God, that'd be fun too.
That's not crazy.
That the second half total would swing on that. If it was 21-9 and they're going for 2.
Or vice versa. If it's
we just need a bunch of
it's more likely.
What's that?
The Commanders sit at 41 points. And the Lions score a touchdown to get to 40, which I know is not easy, but doable if they get 2 field goals instead of touchdown, which is possible. 2 field goals, touchdown. This team is sitting right there. And they go for 2 to go from it's 41-40, and they go for 2 to go.
Oh my God! Who is this weather girl from Detroit?
That would be.
Do you have this on your TV too, Drew?
No, I have the ones to watch. Fox 11. That's the local.
I think it's because I'm watching on Stream East. I have like local Detroit news, and I might be in love. All right, because somebody responded to me on Twitter about this, pointing out one of these games. What were the 5 highest scoring games in NFL playoff history? I will spot you one. The second highest scoring game
in history?
In playoff history. I'm going to spot you one for a reason. So
Chiefs-Texans?
In 1995,
okay,
the Philadelphia Eagles. God, who do you think was the coach in 95? So
95?
95, the Eagles and Detroit Lions.
Oh my God.
58-37 Eagles. And that was in 1995. Every single one on the list that wasn't that one of the top 5 happened after the year 2000 switched over. So these are all new millennium ones. But somebody pointed out a very funny one to me.
Okay.
And your guess was wrong.
What?
The Chiefs-Texans.
That one didn't get into the top.
No, that had like maybe 70. That had like 75 points.
That's not enough to get in. Oh wow! How? Okay, what?
Ricky Waters scoring on this? Herman Moore.
What is really? What is my like? What's my threshold? 80 points.
The lowest scoring in the playoffs of the top 5 was 86. And only one of these went to overtime. Bills Oilers, not on the list. That was only like 70-something. Only 70-something. Rams Packers, early 2000. Close.
Rams Packers.
You have one of the teams right.
What?
Chargers Dolphins. See, that's only 79. Not high enough to make the fucking list. I don't know that you'll get any of these. These are all just wild.
I can't. I'm lost, right. Man.
Number 5, St. Louis Rams, greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
2000, beating the Minnesota Vikings 49-37, 86 points.
Wow.
Number 4, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm pretty sure because this was 2018. Over the Steelers, 45-42, which is just a stupid game to begin with, I would think. I'm sure that was Big Ben at that point. That game had 2 teams didn't even score. Yeah. That was like Fournette, Juju Smith-Schuster.
I just remembered one. I just thought of one.
Go ahead.
Packers, Cardinals.
That's number 1. Number one on the board.
That one.
Overtime.
That
game,
one,
by the way.
That one was on meth. Oh shit!
Overtime tied at 45.
That one was insane.
So
insane.
at a minimum, that was going to be a 90,
man.
92-point game. But yeah, the Cardinals, Packers.
Was that divisional round? That was divisional round.
That was
right?
a wild card game.
That was a wild card game? Oh shit. Wow. Wow.
Can you
Good
name the Cardinals quarterback in that one? He's on the list twice.
Are you serious? Carson Wentz?
It's Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, he was
Carson Wentz and Kurt Warner somehow because of the was a perfect crossover. My bad. Kurt Warner.
And yeah,
I think I was actually mixing in some Carson Palmer in there too. For just pure brain. I thought of no one. Okay. Which ones did you give me already?
All right. So Arizona Green Bay, that overtime game.
Yep.
96 points, number one. Yep. Number two is that Eagles Detroit game from the 90s that nobody would have gotten.
I'd never would have remembered that.
No. Number four was Bortles scoring 45 to beat the Steelers.
I had the Jags. I had the Jags at a huge price that day, and I still feel like I had the wrong bet. I don't know how.
Number five was the Greatest Show on Turf versus the Vikings. That was a divisional round game.
I think I know number three. It was Alex Smith versus the Colts, right? This was one of the ones where it was in the Saturday morning wild card spot, and everybody's like, "This game's gonna suck. These offenses suck." And then there was 90 points. Was it 45, 40, 46, 45, 47, 40,
45 to 44? Andrew Luck, Alex Smith.
Luck.
Remember Dwayne Bowe, T.Y. Hilton, Donnie Avery. Niall Davis, Donald Brown was on that team.
I just remember Alex Smith absolutely bawling out in that game, and losing.
378 yards,
he
4 touchdowns, no interceptions
in that game, and he lost.
Yeah, 57 yards rushing,
Holy
no interceptions.
Shit.
Only took 2 sacks. Lost that game.
What were those numbers? That seems even better than I remember.
378 and no interceptions.
Oh my god! Did he have a fumble? He had to have a fumble.
Yeah, he did lose a fumble. I glossed over that like it's a tweet. When you're trying to pump someone's tires and you don't mention the one stat. Highest scoring Super Bowl. You should get this one, I would think.
The highest scoring I know the highest closing total Super Bowl, and I'll quiz you on that after I guess the highest scoring Super Bowl.
There are 3 within a point of each other at
Green
the
Bay,
top.
Pittsburgh? That was like 38-35, wasn't it?
Yeah, that it was not because it didn't make the list, and it would have.
31-34.
That would have been just below the list, so yeah.
Back in the day, the Niners just shit pumping the Chargers.
Yeah, 49-26.
49. What was the Chargers got to 26 that day?
Yeah, that is number one. 75 points. The good Eagles Patriots.
That margin doesn't describe how not a compute that was.
They could have scored 70 points that day. They called the dogs off at some point. That was that was a good one. It was like Stan Humphries versus Steve Young, and that team. Good luck.
But Steve Young had never gotten the monkey off his back, Andy. Remember?
Do you know who the Chargers had to beat?
What?
Do you know the Chargers had to beat to get to that Super Bowl? It was Neil O'Donnell and the Steelers. Like there was an imbalance.
Neil O'Donnell was the reigning AFC champion at the time. The AFC was in a very bad place then.
It was in a
very, very bad place. If I remember correctly from that Niners game, because I'm pretty sure I stopped watching because I was on the East Coast. It was like 40-10, 42-10, something like that. And then like the third quarter just started. I think that one was and then they
Which one did you say it? Sorry, I was answering it.
The Niners Chargers Super Bowl was
just a blowout.
It was a blowout.
Second on the list is the Eagles, the good Eagles Patriots one.
Oh shit.
That was 41-33. And then third is last year's Super Bowl. Or excuse me, 2 years ago, Philly
38-35. Yes. Yeah. Shit. Yeah.
And then, I mean, those are like competitive. Yeah. The rest are just shit pumpings. Dallas over the Bills, 52-17.
Yeah, boring. Do you
Oh, the Tampa
remember?
Bay Oakland one was terrible too.
Oh yeah, that was a dog. So what was the Green Bay Pitt one?
I don't know. It's not on my list. I'd have to go
Hmm.
look it up. It's crazy how
Um,
few of these are overtime games too. It's not like, oh, we had extra points in overtime.
Hmm.
High scoring ever was obviously Giants Redskins 1966. 16 touchdowns that day, which is a lot.
what?
The game was played before they introduced the nets behind the goalposts, which means when they kicked extra points, fans would take the footballs and they had trouble getting them back. They lost 14 footballs in the stands that day, which is funny too. Because it's like, just go get them.
Wow. I'm spacing here.
Go get it.
I was gonna ask you the memory lane super playoff football stuff is hard, man. Do you know what the highest closing total of any Super Bowl was?
The number or the game?
The game. If you know the number, that's like
God,
you get 1 point for the game, 5 points for the number.
I mean, was it one of those greatest show on turf? Like the second time they got there, was it one of those Rams Super Bowls?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Was it a Patriots? It couldn't have been Patriots Giants. Those would have been a little lower because those are big spreads. Patriots.
Nope, not involved.
Colts? Was it a Manning one?
It was not.
I might be out.
It was.
It wasn't Seattle, Denver.
Bucks Chiefs.
Oh, the Brady one?
Yes.
What was
Do
that,
you
like
remember?
52?
What? Do you remember what was your guess? What was your guess?
52.
56.
It's a lot. How did I not
That's
remember
a
that?
lot.
I feel like we would have talked about it a bunch.
Well, you know why? Is because that whole
brain's
year was just all supercharged because they had no fans. And so the scoring went absolutely ape shit. And so you looked at the total, you're like 56, and you're like, yeah, all right. Like, I kind of am still in shock looking back that was the number. Because there were fans there, right? And it was in Tampa. I don't remember. Do you?
There had to be fans, I would think. I don't know how that year was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay, let's talk a little bit about
I don't think we should do COVIDs anymore. Ugh.
Let's do some rapid fire thoughts on
Okay, I'm on a timeline here because
Yeah.
I got dropped off. I got a ride coming in a bit. I'll let you know, but fire away.
Okay. Chiefs-Texans. The Chiefs were the rightful winners, but it was very lucky that they covered. Fairbairn, I will be investigating to see if he's had any unusual deposits in the last several days. His 2 missed field goals and a missed extra point were absolutely brutal. The Chiefs pass rush, to Murray's credit, and specifically Karlaftis, were phenomenal. The fact that they kept that in their back pocket until the second half, and then literally Steve Spagnuolo was like, "Do the blitz," and it was just like, oh, it's over. It's over.
Oh.
Like CJ Stroud, the Texans O-line has nothing for this. Bobby Slowick has no adjustment for this. Bobby Slowick literally looked like he was like, wait, how come so many guys are coming at us? What do I do about this? He had no fucking plan. And still CJ Stroud moved them in position to cover that spread. And
they covered, depends what number, 8.5 early in the week, 9.5.
They didn't cover, or they did cover. Who are they talking about?
I don't know if he's talking about
the Chiefs. Like,
this is fun. This is like Schrodinger's comment, because he could be talking about either team depending on.
If you bet this game in the middle of the week, you have 8.5. Like, I know a lot of places hung 9.5, but the way it was indexed, the way it was juiced, anyone with 2 brain cells took 8, sold down to 8.5. So let me just tell you that this was decided as a fucking razor thin Chiefs cover for midweek bettors, and it was a razor thin Texans cover for anyone who bet today. as far as I can tell you, right? Was there anyone today who was hanging under 9? I didn't see anything.
No, I'm this morning. So when I put it in the newsletter, I said if you twisted my arms, I'd play -9, and I put -9 because basically like there was 1 8.5 out there, and it was like 117 or something like that, where I didn't think it was a fair number to put in there. And then obviously that was like 6 in the morning when there's something like that. So the rest of the morning and into the afternoon, there was some extra steam that basically took the whole market to 9.5 or better. So
yeah.
that's why market timing is important, guys.
Yeah. You could have middled the 9.
My favorite tweet about
Someone
this
probably did middle the 9, and that person is a sick motherfucker. What was your favorite tweet?
Somebody tweeted out, like, after the safety, Vegas made a call, and Chris Andrews, Chris Andrews,
Of course.
I think
Bear.
No. Chris Andrews.
Chris Andrews, not Chris Fleeger. Sorry.
Chris
Andrews, who used
South Point.
Yes, who wrote the book.
Yeah, he's written a couple now. He's a
2 now.
prolific author.
Yes.
3 books, it says. He tweeted, he quote tweeted that thing that said, like, Vegas made a call on that safety. He's like, yeah, we love getting middled. Hey, I have to run.
I love that.
I gotta run.
I love that. All right,
I'll
man.
be able to vamp a lot longer tomorrow night.
No,
okay?
let's be more fun to vamp tomorrow anyway. Yeah, it'll be more fun to
vamp a lot tomorrow night. Love you guys. Let's see some scores.
Yes. Starting with this one, please.
First and goal, baby. Let's go.
First and goal would be huge. This would be huge.